Hello and welcome to Let's Talk About It. I am your host, Dengachik, and our topic today is life advice. So I have decided to sort of, give you some tips on how I deal with my, day-to-day pressure, stress, as well as things that upset me and how I manage them, as I mentioned. Now, before I get into that, I want to ask you a question. What are the things that triggered you? What are the things that really upset you that makes you angry, and how do you deal with them? How do you manage them? Now, I can be certain that you have your own mechanism um, on how you deal with stress, pressure, um, anger, things that really upset you. Um, whether it is working or it's not working, that I don't know. But I'm happy to sort of, have a conversation in the comment section under this video. And let's keep it really interactive and make sure that, we're educating others as well as us. So now let's get into it. Um, so me personally, um, I must admit that I've come a long way. I'm just like anybody. Um, so when I was coming up, I had, you know, being young and youth and, having really hot blood, fresh blood, and just wanting to, deal with things as soon as they arise in the most brutal way. Um, but when I became an adult, I look at things and I said, well, being an adult itself is pretty draining. And to really, react to every situation or everything that you hear around can be quite, mentally draining. And so I made a decision to myself to make sure that there are vast, minor issues that are designed to irritate me or upset me by others, um, to leave them to others, really. And bigger issues that require my immediate attention and action. So once I employed that mechanism, I became a better individual, a better understanding of myself, better understanding of my environment, better reading of people and what their intentions are, right? But just to take you back a little bit, as I said before, I used to deal with things in a brutal manner. So I would hear things, all right? Either I'm hearing them directly or someone is bringing them to me. I will automatically react and it will be a violent way. That was quite draining. But am I saying that I regret that? Absolutely not, because it was the right calling at that time. But what really matters is the growth, development for an individual, which is something that I had been working on really hard. And to this day, I learned to sort of employ laughing as my facade. I use it as a mask to sort of block things away, things that might really triggered me and just lost me in the moment and take me back to the years when I was, when I was young and just wanting to, to address things physically. So I laugh and, just to inform the rest of my, body that there is an attack, but here is how we have to deal with it. We're not going to respond to it. We're not going to react, but we're just going to take a step back and make sure that we avoid it unless necessary. And some people tend to sort of they get upset by it. So when they design something that is that is really meant to sort of hurt me or upset me or get me to react in a way that will make me appear foolish, and I just laugh it off. They don't like it, and I can see that it means it works, right? Now, am I suggesting that use it? Am I suggesting that laugh when people are trying to attack you as an individual? Um, in some cases, yes, but in most cases, no, because um, it depends with an individual. It depends with you, and it also depends with whoever that you have encounters with. But it works for me. It works for me, and I know there's a line drawn that is never to be crossed. And once that line is crossed, then the laughing is out of the window, and it's time for action. That is how I protect my energy. Most importantly, is my great judge of human character. I wasn't born this way, right? I used to be a person who would sort of trust everybody and get along with everybody and just do business with everybody until I learned the hard way. Through my journey in life, I had been subjected to things that I don't regret because they had provided me with, a lifetime lessons, and I really, appreciate each and everyone that was involved in it. Right. My advice to you as an individual, right, and to you, um, you know, who's actually going to watch this, is that it is not everything that requires your reaction, your attention, all right, your support, your presence, your words, or anything. As I mentioned, there are things that are best left to others and things that requires your immediate attention and action. Those things are the one that you really need to pay attention. Those things are the one that you really need to give your time to, because they mean everything to your life and to you. And there are things that are designed to just, get you off road and, become a trash, basically a laughing stock for people. Because believe it or not, out there are people that are spreading negative words or negative rumors about you. And you, to your surprise, people are buying them. People are buying into them. And I can assure you that you have unknowingly created enemies that are actually hating on you right now that you don't even know and probably might have never heard of, or maybe they exist, but you don't know that they have an issue with you. Why? Because they are friends or they have connection with people that think they have problems with you. So that's why when you are walking, or that's why when you're interacting with people, people that you know or you don't know, you need to be extra, extra careful. You need to be extra careful, on your act, what you say, and what you do, because you don't know who's watching you and what their interpretation is. And also, what I learned coming up is the power of words. Power of words. Foolish or wise, um, they have the same impact. That is something I've learned coming up, really. And as competitive and nasty as this world is, everybody that is coming to your life has an agenda. I don't know if this is a news to you or you're already aware of it, but I'm telling you, a brother, a sister, a cousin, a wife, a girlfriend, a boyfriend, anybody, a stranger, anybody that come into your life has an agenda. They have interest to advance at your expense. You might disagree with me because probably your cloud is still pretty dark, but there will come a time when you will understand what this line really means. And so it is your responsibility as an individual to read everybody that is within your circle. Read everybody that is coming into your life. Read everybody that is outside your circle as well as the general public. Because what does happen is, right, word can actually set people off. They can be like magnets that draw people to you. So how you speak determine, um, you know, the kind of traffic that you will create, right? And it is also my understanding with the conversation that I've had with a lot of people, or the conversation that other people have had and I was around, that words can be interpreted um, based on people's insecurities as well as the mood of the day, whether you like it or not. You might say, why is X, upset? And what I just said was, I like your shirt, or you smell nice. As innocent as those sounds, trust me, um, there is a hidden insecurity and the mood involved. What could be the hidden insecurity? Say, for example, if you say, I love your shirt, or I like your shirt, either way you want to word it, and that upsets someone, two things might play the role in this, right? Probably the person is not impressed with the physical appearance. Probably the person, when they left their house, they probably doubted that, they were looking good, right? So if you come and say, I love your shirt, or I like your shirt, what that basically means is that you pick the shirt that you like, right? But the person appearance, eh, right. That is where the problem comes in. Do you understand that now? So maybe the person was waiting to be complimented altogether with a shirt. You look nice. You look awesome. You look amazing. You know, you look great. Um, well, now there's a combination of an individual, look and the shirt. I love your dress. You look amazing. All right. Um, do you love the dress or the person wearing it? It can be interpreted in so many ways, and all of this way of interpretation and understanding is invited by the insecurity of the individual as well as the mood of the day, right? So that's why I when complimenting, I tend to shy away complimenting strangers because of that matter, right? Because you don't know what goes on in their life. You don't know what is the mood of the day, how they left their house, or what had happened on the road coming to where you are, or going to public places, all of that, right? You really do not know, and anything can trigger anybody, myself included here, right? Anything can trigger anybody, depending on the mood and insecurities. I'm telling you. So basically, what I've just said there is that be very, very careful with words. What you're saying. I'm not saying, do not hold conversations, do not talk to your friends, family members, or anything like that, but just watch what you're saying, right? It might sound really difficult because people like to sort of, speak their mind when they feel the person that they are talking to, is a person that they can just say anything around them. Side thing does not exist. I've heard it time and time again. You know, I want to be with someone that I can speak my mind. I want to be with someone that I can be free and just say anything around them. Side thing does not exist because the excessiveness of your words can actually turn people off. Doesn't matter whether they're your friends or they're your acquaintance or relatives or strangers. All right. Depending on the mood and insecurities. And if you keep talking about how wonderful your life is and how, such a winner you are and how God has blessed you and with all of these nice things, if you're saying them to someone that is seeing them a little different, there's going to be a problem. And there's going to be friction, right? And it goes back to words, right? That's what we're saying. It goes back to words. Be mindful of what you're saying, who you're saying them to, and how you're saying them. Remember, they say it's not the word, it's how the word is being said. And all the time is usually how the individual, the receiver, right? The person on the receiving end is actually receiving your message. It's usually not what you're saying and how you meant it. It's usually how the other individual is taking it and how they are interpreting it. That's what create a massive, massive difference. Now, a little story, and then I think I might elaborate on that in the future, right? But to me individually, as I said before, I mentioned before how I sort of this day, how I deal with things that stress me, how I manage my pressure, the issues of the day. All right, is happiness. Basically, I laugh. Right, anything that is designed to implicate, to complicate, to hurt, to depress, to stress, to upset me. My mechanism of dealing with it is to just laugh. Right, because I know already what people are bringing to me. Right, I know. And some people can say, well, that's a very extreme, outlook to have. That's a very extreme way of looking at things or perceiving people. That is one of, like a closed minded way to see things. You need to be open minded. Well, guess what? I have been open minded. But the results keep proving me right. So the point I'm trying to make here is that things that make you upset, you have to deal with them in a way that is beneficial to you as an individual. Who like to be upset every day? Nobody. But usually it comes down to people. People are the reason why people are upset. And if that is the reason, what are the mechanisms that you have in place to be happy? Because I'm telling you right now, for example, I have struggled to deal with family. And when I say family, I mean like literally blood, right? I found it extremely difficult to deal with them. To some degree, I had to come to terms of, believing that it does come to an individual, and an individual is myself. And if family usually is the reason why, yeah, yeah, just cut them off. As hard as that sounds, I used to say back in the days that um, you know I hate giving up on the family members, and to this day I still believe in that. There is still a dark cloud sitting on my head, but trust me, the cloud is clearing up, and the grass is growing again, and the sun is shining again. What I mean by that is that I now understand that everybody, they have that interest to further their agenda. And if you're not careful, they will further their agendas at your expense. And that's why I said be very, very worried. Be very, very, very worried about people who are like that. And reading them too is not a skill or talent that is born with people. It is something that you learn outside. You learn it through experience, through the past maneuvers that they have made. You learn it through people that are truly close to them. You know, you learn it through the experience that you have experienced as an individual. And from there, when you decide it is time, cut them off and never look back. You cut them off and never look back. Some people might say, well, but no. At the end of the day, it comes down to your mental health. It comes down to your life. It comes down to what makes you happy. If you want to be upset and be angry with everything that you encounter, including God, go right ahead and endure whatever that makes you upset. It's your choice. But if I have little advice to say to you, always, always do anything that further your interest, anything that makes you happy. The world does not really give a damn about you. I'm sorry to break that down to you, but the world literally does not give a damn about you. Your workplace don't give a damn about you. Your relatives don't give a damn about you. Your friends, to your surprise, they truly do not care. Don't give a damn about you. Anything in this world does not give a damn about you. People care when you are in a powerful position. People care when you have something to bring to the table, when you have value. But if you don't have any value, if you're useless, nobody will give a damn. I am telling you right now, and there are so many examples around you. Look into your family. If one of your siblings is not delivering to the expectations of your parents, look at how your parents deal with that sibling. If one of your friends does not further your interest and all they do is being jealous, all they do is just criticize you, all they do is attacking you, it's just upsetting you, making promises that never arrived, making appointments that they never turn up to. How do you react to that? How do you feel as an individual? It's as simple as that. It means they do not give a damn about you because they have other important matters that they are actually attending to. So I believe what I've just said here will add value to your life and will maybe assist you in seeing things differently, and will probably make you understand how this world operates. And as I conclude this video, I cannot stress enough how brutal, how uncaring, how competitive this world has become. And if you didn't know, now you know. You're on your own. It is your journey. Own it and just face it like a king. It is yours truly, Dengachek. If you have enjoyed this video, leave your comments in the comment section below. And don't forget to like and also subscribe. Stay positive. Stay tuned. Let's go.